Alrighty, folks. So we're going to do the third lesson from D major. And I noticed when I played like the E Dorian one time in there, I made a mistake and said E major early on and it meant D. Later in the video, at the end of that particular one about the E Dorian, I mentioned E major because I was saying how that's the kind of the first key that I learned it from top to bottom because it starts with the E, you know what I mean? That's your do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So today, what do we got? It's 3 o'clock. I only get 15 minutes on a video and it'll stop. So I'm going to do the B minor, the B natural minor, because there's 3 minor flavors in any key. There's a Phrygian and there's a Dorian. There's a little bit of a minor flavor, but this is your pure natural minor. What we're going to do today is, again, I'll try to remember to mention this in every video. Anything that I teach, I like to expound on the fact of learning it on the whole fretboard. Don't just learn something in one spot. So in this case, we got B minor pentatonic. I mentioned it in the other one with the E minor pentatonic. I don't want to go down that road because it'll cause confusion. So D major, this is B natural minor, comes from D major. So if I play the B minor, if I start with this note, the D note, is your D major. All the notes are the same. So your B minor is your pentatonic for D major also. So you got your minor flavor. Okay? But it's also D major. Every minor pentatonic comes from a major key. So if I start with the D note with this B minor, with this note, and go down to D, that's D. See? You get your D major flavor, and that goes in any one of the block. So the lowest point on the fretboard for your B minor pentatonic, typically people would say, you know, right here at the F sharp. But there's actually a lower one if you start with the open E. That's your lowest point. It's nice to learn these because then if someone's playing progression might be, you've got that available. Okay, and then you got it here. Here. Okay, so they just repeat themselves up here, okay? So, I mean, it just opens up creativity like unbelievable. So what was I going to go over now? So you could take any kind of chord progression, and it I guess sometimes, like the pentatonic, obviously there could be several different keys that you can use that in. So in that B minor, I can also, if a progression, because I went over the E Dorian on the first lesson from D major, you can also use E minor pentatonic in certain places, and it depends on what the chord progression is. You can mix them up. There's places where you can use several different minor pentatonics in a song that could be in the key of D, hypothetical, okay? Depending on what the progressions are. So you're not locked into just this one thing. There's multiple things. Music's like a wheel and a wheel and a wheel. There's a lot of keys that overlap. Certain scales can be used in several different keys, and they'll work. But anyway, when I started digging in, I learned the pentatonic in a key. I'm not saying mastered, because I don't think anybody ever fully gets it all, because it's endless. But I did learn my pentatonic, and I can do this in every key. Everything I'm teaching the key of D, I can do it in any key at the snap of a finger. Same thing. The shapes in your pentatonics are all the same for any key. You just move all those shapes for that particular key. So with the then I learned the diatonic. That's your full scale. But then I learned again all the scale blocks that I did on the A Mixolydian and the E Dorian are the same ones I would use for the B minor song or whatever, the B minor scale. A Mixolydian I went over on the last lesson. Well, that's also B minor. I'm just going from the B to the B, so you hear that natural minor flavor. The same thing with the G Lydian, which I mentioned in the last video with the A Mixolydian. G Lydian is just from D major, starting with the G note in that key. Your Do, Re, Mi. It's your fourth note in D major. You can hear the tail end of the Do, Re, Mi from D. But your Lydian flavor would be going. Reminds me of that Heart song in a different key. It's in the key of C, which is A minor. You know, that's that Lydian-ish kind of flavor. So, but I can play my B minor in that G position. So, if you're talking the pure D major scale, E Dorian, F sharp Phrygian, G Lydian, A Mixolydian, B natural minor, and C sharp Locrian, all those modal names, you're using all the exact same notes for all of them. You're just starting and ending on that particular note for that mode. If I wanted the F sharp Phrygian flavor, it's still the B minor scale is in there. But if I start with the F sharp and what? You That's the modal name is just a note you start with and end on. But so anyways, B natural minor. So if you learn your pentatonic, B minor pentatonic on the whole fretboard, and then you got those other notes you can add in. You can play all over the place, anything you want, whatever you want to hear. And a lot of times when I used to practice to one chord, I got to watch the time. I found all the, like I didn't find them all, but I looked for all the possible voicings I could do to that one chord. Just find a track and let that one chord play, and I would like put tension on them. I would use only the notes of B minor, but I wouldn't play the B on purpose. I would try to avoid playing the B note unless I used it as a passing tone, like this. So I'm not playing a B note, I'm playing all the other notes. Look for other voicings of that scale, so to get away from the predictable. This is all about, when you learn this stuff, then you can work on creativity, and you've got access at least right away, and you can go outside of this. All of what I'm teaching is just basic. It's just do, re, mi, but you can go outside of that. Actually play to a B and go out from another key, but just as long as it's like Yngwie said this, if it sounds good, then it is good. So this isn't the only thing, but it's certainly just by teaching myself these basic things, the pentatonic on the whole fretboard, and learning the shapes so I can move them to any key, then the same thing with the diatonic, then the octave. Whoops. And all the diads. All the dyads and octaves and stuff, and all it is just playing the notes of do, re, mi. And it gives you things, you hear what they sound like. You know, you've got your predictable, and that's fine to put in a track to be creative, but learning these other things helps you find things that are interesting, that'll spice things up, and, you know, so it's not all predictable, you know what I mean? So anyways, I think that's close to 15 minutes. B natural minor is from D major. So that's another flavor there for you. Maybe I'll do F sharp Phrygian next time. But it's all the same notes. All these, like I said, modal names. It's all the same 7 notes.